I think there is a need for a redrafting of the attendance zones. I think there is the need for a new look at the total enrollment and attendance zones and the total school population in Fort Worth.
In response to a request from Judge Howard Green of Tarrant County, the Small Business Administration has designated the counties of Fort Worth, Tarrant County, and Dallas County as a disaster area. This will enable the victims of the flood that happened Tuesday night to secure low-interest, long-term loans from the Small Business Administration to put themselves back into business. We propose to have a loan officer stationed at the Chamber of Commerce here in Tarrant County in Fort Worth to visit with the people that have suffered losses and to help them in preparing applications.
James Griffin, Regional Director of District 5 of the Office of Economic Opportunity, stated less than 2 weeks ago that OEO was contemplating withdrawing funding from the Dallas County Community Action Committee unless the poverty sector and the governmental sector can come together for the good of the people that it was designed to serve, and that's the poor. Mrs. Aline Hardy, coordinator of the DCCAC Community House Component, says that last Saturday, the executive board called a meeting of the DCCAC, and the meeting was mainly to shuffle the priorities as set by the 4 advisory boards and the governing board. The main area of concern over the shuffling of priorities is that priority number 1, which would keep the target area coordinating council over the community house component, was reshuffled down to number 24. Funding is determined by a numerical sequence, and according to Mrs. Hardy, the executive board moved priority number 1 down to number 24. Mrs. Hardy also says that the purpose of today's meeting is mainly to clear previous press releases that they attended last Wednesday's meeting of the DCCAC to protest their being under the Target Area Coordinating Council. However, Mrs. Hardy says that they were there to ensure simply that the TACC remains as the governing body of the Community House component. Gene McIntyre at the Multipurpose Center in North Dallas for Channel 8 News on the Move.
$6,000, Jack's Meat Service, now 61. $6,000 bet down 1 here, but he gave 61. $6,000 bet down 1 here, but he gave 61. Tom now 2. 62, Jack's Meat Service, now 63. $6,200 bet down 3 here, but he gave 3 here, but he gave 3. $6,200 bet down 3 here, but he gave 3. 62, bet down 8, now 8 here, but he gave 7, 8 all in, 77 now 7. Yes, 8, now 8,000. 8,000, Crack Pack and Company, now 8,000. 61. Now, a lot of places I go, that means of Wise County. You gonna let me borrow a pencil again? No, no problem. Here's a lad that has done an excellent job. He has an outstanding steer, and we'll.
How much did you pay for Shotgun originally?
$234.
Did you ever have any idea that you'd win this much money?
No, ma'am, I sure didn't. I was really tickled about it.
Are you real disappointed about having to sell her now?
Yeah, a little. I'd like to keep him, but that's what I bought him for, to sell, so I got what I wanted.
What's the secret of raising a champion?
Well, there really isn't a secret. Just all I can tell you is just feed him right and try to win. Just set your goals a little higher than what you want them to go.
The Crossroads Community Center at the corner of Oakland and Pennsylvania here in South Dallas is becoming more and more a point of contention between newly elected center board members and the Dallas City Council. The newly elected members contend that they were elected under misrepresentation. They quote this Crossroads newsletter, which says the board of directors is a 20-member body appointed by the City Council, of which 10 are elected representatives from the Crossroads service area. The letter is from June of this year. The election was in July of this year, and the members say they were elected to a 20-member board, while the City Council just recently appointed 20 members of a 30-member board. Well, members of that newly elected board and some members of the City Council got together today with City Attorney Alex Bickley to try to iron out those difficulties. There was no concrete solution, as you might expect. Instead, Bickley says he'll brief the rest of the council on that and see what they want to do. Bickley points out he can't instruct the council to change it, but he can advise them to do so, and it seemed clear from the meeting that he might just do that. Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News on the Move at the Crossroads Community Center in Dallas.
By now, everybody knows what Texas Stadium is, the world's finest football facility. They know how to get there. They know where it is. They know what it looks like from the outside, most of them. But not many of you know what it looks like from the inside. So, from the west side of the playing field of Texas Stadium, Channel 8 welcomes you to an almost completed product and invites you to look around. So the stadium will be open to the public this Sunday for the game with the New England Patriots. Everyone has waited a long time. Ground was first broken back in 1969 on the 25th day of January. The Cowboys are anxious, so are the Patriots, and of course, so are many of the fans. It's like a game of hide and seek, if you'll recall back when you were a child. He who is hiding his face counts rapidly and impatiently to 100. And so Sunday it might sound like this: 97, 98, 99, 100. Here I come with both eyes open, all not ready, holler I. This is Jerry Haynes for Channel 8 Sports from Texas Stadium.
the plan we have is the alternate. We've already made our alternate. The plan we have is the one we think is best, and one we plan to stay with, unless someone shows us something better. I'm always open to any kind of a plan or suggestion which will improve educational opportunities for children, for black or white or brown children. But to satisfy the demands of someone who might be vindictive, I am opposed to.
Would you give 9,000? Tom bids 9,000. Now 91. 9,000. 91. 9,000. Say, I'll tell you what, you got Charles Cobb smiling now. 9,000. Now 91. 9 pound, a little bit down 91. 9 pound, a little bit down 91. You're going to give 91. 9 pound, a little bit down 91. You're going to give 91. All in all, 9 pound, a little bit down 91. 9 pound, a little bit down 91. Here, we're going to give 91. Oh, what's $100 on a good steer? If it was an ordinary steer, I'd say no, but here's a good steer. 9,091. 9 pound, a little bit down 91. Here. Yes, 91. Craig Packing Company, 91. I would like all the Tom Thumb people to stand back there. Tom Thumb stores.
Basically, when we discussed them today, we didn't see any problems that would cause a breakdown such as the one that is alleged to have occurred. The things that were discussed today more dealt with efficiency and how we could better accomplish a less time period that a citizen receives a citation to come into court and have his day in court.
Counselor, how long, in your estimation, has this been going on?
Well, now the Cook case itself was not discussed today. We didn't go over any part of it. We tried to remedy any security measures and talking in our procedure today, but that case was not discussed at all. And frankly, I have no evidence from the police department as to how long it might have been going on.
Do you feel that this was a one-man operation, or do you feel that there possibly were more people involved?
I think from the city standpoint, the only evidence we've had is that it does involve just one person.
Do you have any estimate of the money that was taken?
I do not have any idea. Now, this evidence is going to be presented to the grand jury, you understand? Mm-hmm. And I'd rather reserve comment on that until after the grand jury has heard the testimony.
Will charges be brought against Deputy Cook?
Only in since we're going to take it to the grand jury and give the grand jury the evidence that we have. And from that standpoint, it'll be up to the grand jury.
Will further arrests be made? I understand that 3 people have been arrested in connection with this case already. Will there be more arrests?
You'll have to see Chief Dyson about that. I don't know.
But we are entering into a very definite controlled economy, and of a even less definite duration. And it will be even harder to rid ourselves of these controls than it has been to impose them. I think that that's a sad truth of life. Once we lose our freedom, then it's exceedingly difficult to restore it.
I had a miss a squib. I had a squib load. Yeah. One of them, it just went out like that. Yeah. But they did have 2 ways that they could test their speed, whereas we use electronic timers that'll take you right down to 1,000th of a second. And the 2 ways they had, one of them they could just use once, you know. But the other one they call a poker chip draw.
Can you show me what that is?
Well, yes, I'll use this ping pong ball. Now, the idea of that, if one of them could hold a poker chip on the back of his hand, I'll use a ping pong ball. They were more available than poker chips were in those days, you know. So if he could drop it, draw, and shoot before it hit the ground, then he would consider to be a real fast gun, and the rest of them were kind of stiff-legged around him, you know, kind of polite to him. So I'll try this, and it's a little hard to get your ear and your eye right together. So watch the ball and listen to the shot and see if I... Did I get it off, Jay? About
just
how far the ball dropped?
About right there. About right there. At your knee.
That's a long way on me. You know, these little old balls seem to drop fast every year. But I'm ready for that, because when I get slowed down to where I can't do it anymore, then I start to cheat. The way you cheat is to give yourself a little more time. Make the ball drop a little slower. I'll see if I can show you what I mean. I hold the ball here. See, while it's in the air like that, it gives you more time. That's cheating.
I am most pleased that the President chose a Democrat, our former governor, John Connally, to run Phase 2, because no man in my memory has made such an impression on the people as a whole or on the people who are in our government. And I think that I can safely say that that man today wields more power, has more respect in Washington than any other man next to the President of the United States. And I thank goodness that a man of his knowledge, of his down-to-earth approach, is the man that is going to be the top man in this Phase 2 operation.
Howdy, Tex.
Well, howdy, Tex.
Tex, have come for my money.
That's an unneighborly sort of thing for you to say. You know you done about half hurt my feelings.
Yeah, well, if I don't get more than my money, I'm gonna more than halfway hurt more than your feelings.
You hadn't ought to said that. Now I got to kill him.
Oh, yeah? Well, you just go for it, Tex.
Do what?
I say go for it. I say slap leather.
You inviting me to draw fuzz on you?
Yeah, go ahead. Come on.
I couldn't do that. That's contrary to the code.
What code?
The code of the even break. Why, I ain't never drawed first on a man in my life, have I, Tex?
Huh?